The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao, AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.
I'm PeggyScott Laborde, and welcome to Steppin Out, with updates from the local restaurant, arts, and entertainment scenes. Joining me, what a show, Poppy Tooker, host of Louisiana Eats on WWNO Radio. Great to see you, dear. Millisia is back, Millisia White. She is the founder of the New Orleans Baby Doll Ladies, and so much more. Welcome. Love the tiara, darling. Love the tiara.
For having
we'll
me.
explain. And Scott Galante, mild-mannered Scott Galante, captain of the crew of the Rolling Elvi, known for rolling with their scooters, dressed as Elvis in local parades. Howdy. Hello.
Hey, how are you, Peggy?
Hey, hello. Fine, thanks. And Alan Smason, editor of the Crescent City Jewish News and theatercriticism.com. Welcome. Hello.
Hey.
Like your tie.
Thank
Very
you.
nice. And Poppy's still in the king cake mode, baby.
Well, our grand finale is a very unusual, different king cake. This king cake is from Wayne Jacobs Smokehouse in Laplace. And let me tell you about this is an andouille king cake.
Savory.
Savory, and it is iced with their house-made pepper jelly.
Oh, what a great
And
idea.
I just want everybody to remember, with all everything going on, you need to stock up. So I strongly suggest that you head to West 5th Street in Laplace for the andouille king cake. They're there 7 days a week from 9 until 2. So you buy it frozen, you let it thaw, and then it rises on your countertop, 20 minutes in the oven, and it's done. But when you go for the king cake, don't forget, you need andouille, you need smoked sausage, you need tasso for your red beans, your gumbo, for everything you're cooking. If you don't want to cook, they also have gumbo, jambalaya, red beans, white beans. You can get butter beans with shrimp and cracklins, okay? Now, Peg, this is the cracklin biscuits in the Drag Queen Brunch book. And it is so easy, for goodness sake. It uses Pioneer biscuit mix, okay? So everybody, you can make cracklin biscuits for Mardi Gras morning if you'd like. So along that same theme of maybe you don't have time to cook, well, Serene Mabe at Dakar Nola next week, because of the Parades Going Down magazine, he's not opening. But next Tuesday through Friday, he will be there from 10 a.m. until 2 p.m. so you can get takeout from Dakar. If you have not been able to get reservations or taste Serene's food, he'll have his jollof rice, chicken yassa. There's going to be some surprise pastry. He's going to also have to go, you read about it in the New York Times, the last meal, the black-eyed pea soup with the palm oil and crab meat and crispy rice. He's got seasonal vegetables. Stop by and see Serene Tuesday through Friday. Then, really big help from the commissary over on Orange Street. You can order boxed lunches for float riders. They've got big pans of jambalaya and red beans all ready to go. I love these king cake cheesecake squares. Is that the cutest thing?
That's
it looks like all of the babies are riding a float. But they've also got to go crab and corn bisque, turtle soup. You can pick up finger sandwiches, deviled eggs. There's breakfast dishes available, like breakfast stratas and sandwiches. But please remember, they also sell fine wines and milk punch. You know, nobody makes a milk punch quite like Brennan's does. And this is, of course, part of Dickie Brennan's organization. 11 to 6, Tuesday through Saturday, with special Lundi Gras hours, 11 until 5. And then everybody needs to remember Ash Wednesday is Valentine's Day. So to keep yourself out of the doghouse, I suggest you celebrate on Friday, February the 16th instead, from 4 until 7 at the Bubbles and Caviar pop-up at Le Salon at the Windsor Court. I mean, you don't have to worry about the roses if you got tickets, reservations for this. Martinis, Veuve Clicquot, 4 choices of fine, rare caviar, and other things like lobster, brie vol au vent, hamachi crudo, a duck croque monsieur. I'm telling you, it's going to be a Valentine's celebration right through Friday the 16th, so don't miss it.
Thank you so much.
And Peg.
Yes, yes.
I've got this special throw here. Look, it's a cocktail shaker from the Krewe des Tables. That's just perfect for the parade route.
Yes, indeed. Thank you so much. Millisia, the baby dolls. A few weeks ago, we had Diane Honore. My understanding is there are about 16 baby doll groups now. And, of course, the baby dolls are pretty grown up, aren't they?
Oh, yes, yes. And a lot has evolved since our resurrection of contributing to the tradition since 2005, post-Hurricane Katrina. So it's just so nice to see the evolution and everyone now donning the baby doll regalia and coming up in their own way and
marching around on Mardi Gras Day or around that time. Now it's the New Orleans Baby Doll Ladies.
Yes.
Okay. And I am very proud to say that you have been on before. And we're going to show an excerpt from the Baby Doll Ladies performance, taped right here in our studio.
Pushing forward, I'm the boss. Creole seasoning in the sauce, sticking it in at all costs. I'm a lady, baby, baby, baby doll. I'm a lady, baby, baby doll. Me in your world, I'm your girl. You can have it all. Back against the wall, standing tall, we'll never fall. 'Cause I'm a lady, baby, baby, baby doll. I'm a lady, baby, baby doll. Me and Michelle went in the same, switching gears and changing lanes. Wearing in my rose frame, woman enough to take your last name. I'm a lady, baby doll. Paying homage to our past, persevering to the last. Signing checks and autographs, bodyguards, we ain't fast. I'm a baby doll. Keep his pockets full, I can do it. Marry me, y'all. He wish he could. Real pride, y'all. That's how we do it. 'Cause I'm a lady, I'm a woman who be doing it. Keep his pockets full.
All right, Millisia, and the name of that song was I'm a Lady.
I'm a Lady.
Who wrote
yes.
that?
By the Baby Doll Ladies and DJ Hectic.
Woohoo! Okay. Well, as I said, you are very much a dance troupe. Not every baby doll group is a dance troupe. Okay, and you're going to be, of course, marching, or we should be say dancing on Mardi Gras Day. But you've got a lot of other exciting things happening before that. Tell us about you've got this fundraiser coming.
Yes, we sure do. Sunday, February 11th is our Passing of the Torch Gala in honor of our late great matriarch, the original baby doll herself, Miss Miriam Baptiste Reed, whose family marched and donned the tradition for over 5 decades. They have the longest running doll masking history. And at this gala, we will be honoring her as the transfer of her role as a doll matriarch has been passed to myself and our crew of baby doll ladies. There's going to be performances by the Chant and Dance Ensemble, as you've just seen, and L. Carnival Time Johnson.
Wow, there she is. Oh, love that. Okay.
The Treme Brass Band.
Passing the torch. Yeah, you got a lot of great music.
Yes.
And Al Johnson.
Yes.
That's wonderful.
And so this is going to benefit our school and youth programs, our after-school and summer programs for 9th through 12th grade girls, and our mentor-mentee cohort of junior ambassadors.
That's great. Now, we saw a photo of you all on St. Charles Avenue.
Oh, yeah.
So when are you going to be out?
So Mardi Gras Day, we have our own walking procession. We're right behind Pete Fountain's Half-Fast Walking Club, right in front of the Krewe of Zulu. We're the only ladies organization on Mardi Gras Day along the historic St. Charles route. Super excited. And we're going to be doing a special tribute master performance at Gallia Hall, Lafayette Square. So yes, super excited.
Now, for more information, we've got, what, NewOrleansSocietyOfDance.com?
Yes.
And Baby Doll Ladies. And you have your own dancing schools. The Society of
Yes,
Dance.
New Orleans
You're a
Society
busy
of
lady.
Dance. Yes, ma'am. Dance education and dance and creative movement and performing arts, that's our specialty.
Very good. Well, we're so glad you're here
Oh,
today.
thank you for having me.
Good
It's so
luck with
exciting.
everything, too. Love it. And I know you performed at Jazz Fest a few years
Yes,
back, too.
we've also done interviews on the Allison Minor stage as well.
Good.
Yes.
At the Jazz Fest.
Yes.
Yeah, very good.
So,
Congrats. It's
thank
a lot
you
of hard
so
work,
much.
Too. And turning to something completely different. Talk about different. Scott Galante, crew of the Rolling Elvi. Oh, my goodness. How many years have y'all been rolling down the street?
Well, you know, it's funny. We've just been talking about this. It was originally incorporated in 2003. The crew was, but they rolled for the first time in 2004. So it's always a little debate. Are we 21, 20 years old, 22?
Absolutely.
But, yeah, we started in 2004 rolling.
Well, one of the traditions I am very proud to say that we have at WYES and Steppin Out is we have a bit of a fashion show with you all.
You know, it's not Mardi Gras without a fashion show at
That's right.
WYES now.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So now here's the crew of the Rolling Elvi fashion show. Let's take a look.
Thank you, Peggy. And welcome to the 2024 Crew of the Rolling Elvi Fashion Show, where you get to see some of the fashions you'll see on the route. So please step up, introduce yourself, and tell them what you're wearing.
My name is Jim, and I am representing the crew's 2024 theme of the year, Blue Hawaii.
Thank you, Jim.
Hi, Scott. I'm Cynthia, and I'm representing the Priscillas in the Blue Hawaii theme this year.
Thank you, little mama.
Hello, I'm Dustin, and I'm representing the late 1950s Golden May Elvis, because 50 million Elvis fans can't be wrong. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Hey everybody, I'm Tony. I'm that hunka burning love that wards off your blue Christmas. All you have to do is love me tender. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Santa baby.
Hey, I'm Sean. They call me the king. Today I kind of feel like a monarch.
King of a metaphor.
Thank you very much. I am Beth, and I am rocking the Peacock Tribute. Thank you very much.
Thank you, my love.
And I am Big Will, and I am rocking a Funchess Original in Tropical Hot Pink. Yeah, you're right.
Oh, thank you, Bill Will. And thank you all. Keep an eye out for us out on the route. And from the crew, the Rolling Elvi, happy Mardi Gras.
Happy Mardi Gras.
The mild-mannered captain of the Rolling Elvi. So which parades are you going to be in?
So we start tomorrow night. We're going to be in Cleopatra. That's our Jailhouse Rockers group. And then Sunday morning, we're in King Arthur. Fortunately, it doesn't look like we're going to have to move because of the weather. Then Thursday Night Muses, which is our original and traditional. And we finish off with Iris on the following Saturday.
All right. And if somebody wants to know, here we go. Oh, this is great. We should show. Yeah. You're
There we
actually
go.
on a scooter. Describe that scooter.
Yeah, so these scooters, we used to say that they're 49 cc's of love. They're tiny scooters that are made in probably not the most high-end mechanical shops. And the whole idea is to look as ridiculous as possible while dressed as Elvis.
You accomplished that.
I feel
they
like it's in our
accomplish that?
wheelhouse.
Okay.
I thank you very much.
So once again, okay, Cleopatra, King Arthur, Muses, and Iris.
Iris,
and
that's right.
Iris. Okay. And if somebody would want to learn more about the crew, how does that work?
Well, you know, so you can get in touch with us through the Rolling Elvi website. You can find us on the web. It's rollingelvi.org. Or on Facebook. We have a public-facing page. Just get in touch. You can learn where we do socials and stuff. We have as many members that that come in through members as we do that just kind of say, hey, I wanted to find you, and they come and find us, and fortunately...
How many members do you have about?
We've broken, I think, 270 now total.
So not everybody's going to... That would be a very large contingent if everybody
Right.
paraded, so you take turns parading.
Yeah, we've got our Priscillas, we've got our Jailhouse Rockers. Most of those are also Rolling
Which is a
Elvi.
synchronized dance troupe.
That's our
Jailhouse,
synchronized
right?
dancing group.
That's wonderful.
Where I have our Ann Margaret's and the Memphis Mafia, and there's always some changeover. So our biggest parade, I think we're going to hit about 150 125 rollers.
That's a lot.
It's amazing.
Well, I always see you in Muses, especially.
Yeah, that's near and dear to my heart.
Yes,
that was
and you
our
do
first
have,
one.
you have
Yeah,
some,
so
just real quick.
yeah, real quick. You saw our theme is Blue Hawaii, so we've got our voodoo dolls again, which I'm pretty stoked about. Our medallions this year are Lays, which I think is super cool. And last year, everybody heard me love on the cards, I think, because we got playing cards again, but in a Hawaiian theme. And of course, you can find our scarves and all of our other usual flows like the blankie rings and whatnot.
Thank you, Scott.
Thank you.
And turning to Alan.
Well, I just wanted to say thanks to Mark Cartali, who's now on Broadway, you know, with Days of Wine and Roses. The late Cheetah Rivera was here a decade ago at Le Petit Theater in 2014. She loved New Orleans. And Seth Rudetsky, who interviewed her, accompanied her on piano, had a spectacular show with her and singing like no other octogenarian I had seen at that time. Of course, she was featured as the original Anita in West Side Story. She starred opposite Dick Van Dyke in Bye Bye Birdie. She was the original Velma Kelly in Chicago. And sadly, the Broadway world said goodbye to her. The two-time Tony Award winner for The Rink and Kiss of the Spider Woman. She died on Tuesday at the age of 91, but we will miss her terribly. Cheetah Rivera. Now, what might still be my favorite grand-scale Broadway show is Les Miserables, and it's back at the Sanger. And this time, of course, anybody who is used to that turntable and get used to the fact they're using projections, so they have gotten rid of their trademark turntable. But the story of Jean Valjean and his nemesis, Inspector Javert, set against the student riots of 1830, still holds the record on the West End in London, where it's still running. And the reason is it's found in its beautiful solos, its duets, and its rousing anthems like you just saw in One Day More. And it is serious, but at times you can see some of the comedy as evidenced by Master of the House, which we just saw with Thénardier and his band of cutthroats. And of course, when we look at the main crux of the entire musical, it's about Jean Valjean. There is Nick Cartel. He has a very operatic approach to the role of Jean Valjean, a man who serves 19 years on a chain gang for stealing a loaf of bread. And of course, after breaking parole, we all know he's given a chance to go straight. His path crosses later on with Fantine. This is Haley Dorch. She does a really wonderful job of I Dreamed a Dream. If you get a chance to see it, you'll know what I'm talking about. And in pursuit of Valjean is Javert, the implacable Preston Truman Boyd, who explains his character in that particular version right there of Stars, an homage to a well-ordered universe with black and white, no shades of gray. The two, Valjean and Javert, they joust with one another throughout the entire work by Victor Hugo as the student revolutionaries mean to overthrow the government. Not very successfully. And of course, one of the more special moments is when he is praying, bring him home, a plaintive plea to God to save Marius, who is, of course, the lover of his daughter Cosette. With a beautiful, resounding score by Alan Bubille and Claude Michel Schoenberg, Les Miserables still continues to enthrall audiences worldwide. They have projections, but you know, don't worry about that so much. The set designs this time are based on actual drawings by Victor Hugo himself. So I would definitely go check this out. I loved it. I think everybody else who goes to see it, it's almost all sold out, so go check that out. Meanwhile, a little bit more local flavor. All of the shows for Ricky Graham's And the Ball and All have been sold out. That's the play about the crew of Tipsicor, except for one that they just added on Sunday at 6 o'clock. There's still some seats left for that final show at 6 on Sunday, in addition to the original cast members of Becky Allen and Tracy Collins.
Oh, wow.
Mandy Zerkenbach is going to be in it. Lisa Piccone Love, Gogo Borgerding, Yvette Hargis, and Shell Duke, all going to be the members of the crew of Terpsichore. Yeah, you darling, right. All right, what can we say? I love you hard, 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 right? Okay, for those who are not committed to seeing When Rex Meets Zulu on Lundi Gras, there's a special live stream concert I wanted everybody to know about. I'm really highly recommending it. It's with Julie Benko. Now, you'll see her here with me. This is after the opening night of Harmony on Broadway. She garnered great rave reviews when she was in the run of Funny Girl. She actually took over for Beanie Feldstein and played the role until Leah Michelle was there and played it on Thursday nights. She's got a fabulous voice and a wonderful countenance. I would say she's going to be a big, big star. Anyway, she is going to be doing a show. Unfortunately, the show Harmony is closing this weekend, but she's going to be doing a show. It's all about New Orleans, her love of the music and her love of the people. It's a concert at Birdland. Lots of New Orleans love in it. And again, her husband, who plays the pianos, like jazz pianist, they actually honeymooned here in New Orleans, and that's where they got to know all about the city. So anytime you get a little shout out of love from a big star on Broadway, I like to let everybody know about it. She's going to be wearing a Mardi Gras mask, throwing beads, and this will be at Birdland. The cost is $19.99 for the live stream stream at 6 o'clock on Lundi Gras on Monday night, but you have until Wednesday at 6 o'clock to watch it, so you can take it in. If you want to take a little break from Mardi Gras activities, check that out. Julie Benko live at Birdland. And just a heads up, coming up later in the month for Black History Month, the National World War II Museum's BB Stage Door Canteen is going to be presenting Black Angels over Tuskegee. That's a story about World War II celebrated black pilots at the BB Stage Door Canteen. Again, that's going to be the end of the month. And I just wanted to give one last shout out. Congratulations again to Bob and Dolores Hope, Entertainment Director at the museum. That's Erica Jensen. She just gave birth to twins.
Oh, my goodness. Great. Thank you so much. And on Mardi Gras Day, the Rex Parade will focus on a 19th century writer who loved and wrote about New Orleans for both a local and national audience. And later on, he went to Japan. His name, Lafcadio Hearn.
Greek-born Lafcadio Hearn spent nearly a decade in New Orleans, writing for local and national publications. He spread the word about the uniqueness of the city with its rich culture, including carnival. The 2024 Rex Parade depicts some of the local life and lore that he spotlighted before ultimately moving to Japan. Even though he had lived elsewhere, these two worlds meant much to him.
Hearn really defined what New Orleans is to the English-speaking world, yet many of our people have forgotten all about who he was. Now, he went on to Japan, to greatness, and is regarded over there as one of the great literary figures of all time.
Even though Hearn lost sight in one eye in a schoolyard skirmish, it never prevented him from chronicling what he experienced as an adult.
Some of the great stories that he wrote about, including bountiful pursuits of all of our great sportsmen's paradise wildlife, fish and game and things like that, to the festive, the cockroach who tries to commit suicide by drowning himself in various eatables and drinkables.
Some of it can be a little tongue-in-cheek, like there's a float called the Festive that was Lafcadio Hearn's homage to the New Orleans cockroach and the fact that it will outlive us all.
So we've got the New Orleans part of the procession first, and then followed by the Japanese world of Lafcadio Hearn. And when he was in Japan, he wrote mainly about Japanese fairy tales and ghost stories and interesting things like that.
From 1878 to 1887, in addition to essays for newspapers, the author wrote La Cuisine Creole, considered one of New Orleans' earliest cookbooks, and Cheetah, A Memory of Last Island, concerning a devastating hurricane. The Louisiana iris is a glimpse of the more serene natural beauty Hearn described in his writings.
If you look at the swamp lilies on the Night of All Saints float, I mean, they're incredibly beautiful and delicate, and they will shimmer and jiggle as the float goes down the street. The same thing on the Autumn Lover and Spring Lover float, the intricate wisteria flowers that will be dangling from the top.
For me, a beautiful float should be a beautiful piece of art, but it also should tell a beautiful story. And Japanese folklore is rich. One of the reasons Lafcadio Hearn went to Japan and fell in love with the place was the stories. And these floats tell beautiful stories.
Royal Artist builds the 20 themed floats. The numerous signature floats, the ones we see each year, complete the rolling tableau.
So we need as much time as possible. So right now we've got themes set for 2025, 2026, and a potential theme for 2027. About 18 months before Carnival, we really get together with the artistic director and start talking about what are the concepts that we think would translate well into the floats.
Caroline Thomas succeeds longtime artistic director Henri Schindler. She follows a long line of women who have designed the Rex Parade over the years.
Wonderful women artists, most of them associated with Newcomb College. She enjoys finding the stories and then telling those stories in her sketches and these beautiful rolling works of art. Caroline is unique, though, among all the women who've worked on Rex projects over the years. Caroline is the only artistic director in our history that I'm aware of who both designs these floats, prepares the sketches, and then actually comes to the den and makes these things happen, picks up a brush and executes her own sketches and turns those into these beautiful floats.
While the presentation of the annual parade is a priority, also important is the philanthropic arm of the Rex organization. Since its inception in 2006, the Pro Bono Publico Foundation has contributed over $14 million towards the betterment of local public education.
For most of the year, the Den is really a very quiet place. It is really a happy time for me when I see, in the weeks before Mardi Gras, when I see the Den filled up with school children. We have hundreds or even thousands of school children now who come to see these floats before they roll. It gives us a chance to not only talk about the history and the art, but also to tell those stories, so that maybe when these floats roll down the street and parents are wondering what that's about, maybe a young child's going to tell them. And if that's the case, then we will have helped fulfill part of our educational mission, which is very important to us.
When the Rex Parade rolls on Mardi Gras Day, this year the date will be February 13th, the same as the first Rex Parade in 1872. And through all that time, what has prevailed is a devotion to depicting the many facets of our city. That passion was also Hearn's passion, best summed up in one of his quotes: "I'd rather live here in sackcloth and ashes than to own the whole state of Ohio."
And that parade rolls at 10:30 a.m. Mardi Gras morning, starting at Napoleon and following the St. Charles Avenue parade route. Go to rexorganization.com for more information. Time for our picks. Poppy.
When you go to Jared Zarang's place, get the delicious new seasoning that he has just gotten in the can, and Toth Sunday. Alon Shai will be there 9 a.m. on for Saba grab-and-go cocktails, babka king cake. Don't miss it.
All right, Alan.
Well, Friday and Saturday are your last two opportunities to see Nick Surley in a very cute, wonderfully acted buyer and seller at Le Petit. There are a lot of tickets left over, so you can go grab some of those. I'd urge everybody to see this not often performed work. And for those of you who want to see some street theater, I'll be blowing my whistle, and I will be starting the parades this weekend.
Blow it real quick. All right, good, thank you. And now my picks. Jewelry designer Millisia White has come up with, look at this, with a Mardi Gras in the tree, actually the wonderful little necklaces, these beads in a tree pendant. And it's also in silver and then adornament this season. Check out millionfage.com for details. On Saturday, February 10th at 10:35 p.m., WWL will show Le Krewe d'Etat Parade. It's also repeated the next evening at 9 p.m. on WUPL. I'll be hosting along with my husband Errol. And Mardi Gras night, woohoo! Don't miss WYES's live coverage of the Rex Ball and the meeting of the courts of Rex and Comus. We'll broadcast, stream on WYES.org and on YouTube. And you can also use the WYES or PBS apps. And next week, in this time slot, Steppin Out, it's carnival time. Errol Laborde and Arthur Hardy and I will talk about Mardi Gras. Well, happy Mardi Gras to you all. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye.
The New Orleans Jazz and Heritage Foundation promotes, preserves, and perpetuates music, culture, and heritage through programs, cultural, educational, and economic activities year-round. Learn more at jazzandheritage.org. The American Italian Cultural Center and Museum on South Peters in New Orleans offers event venue space, Italian language classes, dual citizenship and translation services, seminars, genealogy, and trips to Italy. Ciao! AmericanItalianCulturalCenter.com. This program is brought to you in part by the Eugenie and Joseph Jones Family Foundation, a local foundation proud to support education, the arts, and culture in the greater New Orleans area.